Hi everyone, my name is Kenzie from Mudpuppy Stitchery. If you're new, welcome. I really appreciate your visit and I really hope you enjoy what you see. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you, that you're coming back and that you're leaving comments. It's just really encouraging to me and it means the world. So thank you so much. So it's been a little bit more than a month and there's been lots of new things that's been happening around here. I started a new job about 2 weeks ago in records and registration at a college. So I'm doing a lot of learning and I'm giving myself grace because learning takes time and I can sometimes be a very slow learner. So trying to take my time, be nice and thorough and to figure things out. But I'm really enjoying it so far. Other than that, I've just been getting used to a new schedule of getting up early again. I have had sand volleyball on Mondays, which has been really fun. And I've recently been working on a new design, which you'll see a little bit later. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're taking time to stitch and to get outside in nature and possibly do some birding. I hope you're enjoying the summer sun and some time with some family. So today I'd like to talk about a couple of new starts, some works in progress or WIPs, and some purchases that I've made. So I hope you sit back and relax, enjoy a cup of tea, and let's talk about some stitching. So I'd like to talk about some new starts, and I have 2 new starts. So the first one that I worked on is a Quaker Welcome by Lila's Studio. And I have had this chart for a while now, and it's been on my to-do list to stitch. So I've been very happy to get it going. So I've been waiting to get a start on this for a very special moment. And for me, this looks like an engagement sampler chart where you can put names instead of the alphabet. You can put your wedding date with some initials, maybe a quote instead of the alphabet. So if you've watched my last video, I actually got engaged on June 11th, which is my birthday. So if you'd like to hear the story, you can go onto my last video where I explain a little bit more about the story and how it happened. So it finally happened and I am so excited to finally start this because I've always loved this chart. It's just classic, beautiful, and simple, and it'll actually be my first Quaker that I've ever done. And I've learned from stitching the little portion that I have so far that you have to be very precise with Quakers because the motifs are pretty symmetrical. So I've been learning that I have to be very careful, and it's been a very interesting experience. I'm really enjoying it. So I got a start on this on July 2nd of this year, and I've made some good progress on it. So I'm stitching this on 18 count Affogato by Fiber on a Whim Fabrics, and it's this beautiful yellowish greeny tint that's a little bit tan. It's just beautiful. I absolutely love it. And I've got the first 2 motifs done and the welcome as well. And the chart asks for 4 fancy floss. Currently I'm just using DMC 3371, which is this beautiful black brown, which I absolutely love. I also really love the variegation in the pink flowers down towards the bottom. It's going to take me a while to get there, so I will probably just get those flosses a little bit later on. But I've really enjoyed starting this piece. And I'm really excited to get to the house and to the pineapple, which is right next to this motif right here. It's a lot of fun colors, and I probably won't do the alphabet. I will probably just put my wedding date and maybe a quote. I'm gonna have to think about it. We'll see. But I'm excited to keep working on it. I'm planning to have this done by the wedding, which is October 15th of 2027, so that's super exciting. And I'm hoping to have it done and displayed at the wedding. So it'll be framed and it'll be beautiful, and I'm just really excited about it. So my next new start, I have really wanted to stitch this one. And this is Fruit Dove Frenzy by Boomerang Stitches. And everyone is stitching this one because it's so amazing and it is so good. It is just bright, colorful. There's a lot of block stitching, which is great and nice and easy. It has fruits and birds, so what's not to love? So I will show you the threads. So it's these beautiful DMC colors. It takes a lot of them, but they are just beautiful. This is a little bit messy, so forgive me. And I started in the top left. There we go. So this is how far I got. I got to the first berry branch and the first fruit dove right here. I started this on July 6th of this year on Smoky Quartz by Fiber on a Whim Fabrics, which is this beautiful medium tone greenish gray with like a little bit of yellow in it, and it's absolutely beautiful. The colors really pop on this neutral fabric. The only thing that I'm having trouble on is if you can see these two colors of the body and the wing, these two right here, those look just about exactly the same. And I wish there was a little bit more contrast between these two colors because it almost looks like there was a dye lot issue or there was a mistake. So I wish I had changed it to a little bit of a darker color so you could see the wing better, but I think it looks just fine, and otherwise I just love it. I'm really excited to keep working on it, and I also have several boomerang charts that I've wanted to stitch, which are purchases, which I will show you a little bit later on. So I'm just going to keep plugging away at this. I have no goals on this. I'm just going to work on it when I'm compelled to, and I'm excited to get more progress on it. Okay, let's talk about some whips next. So I'd like to show one that isn't cross stitch. It's more embroidery related, and I did show you the start in my last video. I have a little bit more progress on it, and it's looking amazing, and I'm really excited to show you. So I'm calling this my embroidery birds and flowers piece. There is no chart for it. I'm basically putting it together myself, and in my last video I talked a little bit more about it in detail. So if you're interested, definitely go and watch my last video for more information on how I've been doing this. So I was gifted a coloring book with bird illustrations in it, and I was able to trace through those illustrations onto this cotton napkin. It's just a white cotton napkin that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I was able to use a water-soluble pen, and you can get those at any craft store. So you can see the blue, that is the water-soluble pen. And I just arranged the birds and the flowers however I wanted, whatever was pleasing to my eye. And this is what I came up with. So last time I had the flower border done and this bird done. And recently I worked on the swallows and the goldfinch right here. I'm just using DMC from my stash, kind of whatever I feel like using. And I'm doing just a simple back stitch, which has been really, really fun. So it's very different than cross stitching, and I love how it's turning out. I'm not going to be filling in any of the shapes. I'm just going to leave it as outlines. And I've got like a little bee down here. It might be hard to see, but I'm going to be adding in a butterfly above this flower right here too. So it's been a really fun project. You definitely should try this. It stitches up really, really fast. And I'm just going to continue plugging away at it. So the next whip that I worked on is my own design called the Australian Sampler. And here's what it looks like. So this is actually a model piece that I am actually doing myself, which doesn't happen very often. I've had a lot of wonderful friends like Bethany the Bird Stitcher and Karen the Stitching Owl do a lot of model stitching for me. And I've had a whole bunch of other stitchers offer to model stitch for me as well, so I am so appreciative. It basically allows me to focus more on designing instead of spending so much time on model stitching. So I am so grateful for my wonderful, wonderful model stitchers. But this chart is available on Etsy. It's been on there for a couple years. And as you can see, I designed it in 2022. It does include a number chart so that you can change the year, so you can put whatever year you're stitching it in. You'll notice it has an NSW, and that stands for New South Wales. And if you've seen my other videos, you'll know that I have a love for Australia. So I was lucky enough to visit Australia 3 separate times, and I have seen the most of New South Wales, which is why I put that in right there. And it has a whole bunch of Australian animals, which I just love. And I was also really inspired by Aboriginal designs because they are so colorful and bold and geometric, and I really tried to take inspiration from them. So this has been a long time whip, which was started in August 11th of 2024. So I have not made that much progress. But this is what it looks like so far. This is being stitched on 18 count muted Sedona by Fiber on a Whim Fabrics, and I feel like this is just the perfect fabric just because it reminds me of the desert sands of Australia. So I just love how it's turning out. So far I just have a little bit of the border. I have the red-bellied black snake, and I just recently worked on the koala. The koala is actually full coverage, and it took quite a lot of time to work on that. I am really enjoying this piece, and I'm excited to move down to the kookaburra, which should be right about here. And I'd like to make this piece a priority. I would really love to see it fully finished and framed. And if this is a piece that you're interested in, again, it is available on my Etsy page, along with many other designs as well. So I'm really happy to keep working on it and hopefully get more progress on it. So the last whip that I worked on this month was Jane Atkinson. And this is definitely the biggest whip that I have at 290 by 460 stitches. This has been a long time whip, and it was started on Easter of 2024. And I absolutely love this piece. It is just big and beautiful. I love the borders, all these beautiful warm colored flowers. I also love the big tree here with all the animals. It is just so fun. I'm usually not a sampler stitcher, so this is quite unusual for me, but this one definitely takes the cake. So this is being stitched on an 18 count vellum by Picture This Plus Fabrics. And it's this light pinky tan color, which is just beautiful. It's really perfect for all of the reds and the greens and the yellows and the soft blues in this piece. I am going to be changing quite a lot in this piece, and I have completely recharted the verse here with something that's much more meaningful to me. And I'm going to be changing out the Adam and Eve right here. I'm just going to be changing it to more animals. So probably like a big kangaroo, and I'll probably add some sort of mud puppy in there somewhere. So it's going to take a while to get to that point, but I'm really excited to get down there into the tree portion. So right now I am currently working on the right hand border, and I just stitched this flower right here. I'm going to start on this flower here next, and I am trying to bring down the right hand side of the border so that it matches that left hand side. You'll notice that this also has a stitched finish date of 2027. So I've got at least a half left, so I've got all of this space left. So this piece is definitely a priority, and you'll definitely be seeing this stitch a lot more over the next year and a half. But I am loving this piece, and I'm so happy with how it's turning out. The only frustrating part is that the pattern, it is a printed pattern, and the pages are printed back to back. So it makes it very kind of a confusing, frustrating stitch. And I've started to take pictures of the chart and blow it up on my iPad, which has significantly helped. So that's my only frustration with this piece. So I'm just going to continue plugging away at this piece, making progress, hopefully continuing down on this border, and I'm just gonna keep enjoying working on it. So those were all of my whips and new starts for the month. I do have a purchase to show you. So the first one was Fruit Dove Frenzy by Boomerang Stitches, which you guys already saw. And I also bought Ruby Throated Hummingbirds, and I've always loved this piece. I think the colors are beautiful, and I actually purchased all of the threads, and there is a lot of threads as well with this one. So I'm thinking about stitching it on this amazing piece of 18 Count Swamp by Picture This Plus Fabrics. It's kind of a medium toned yellowish green, and I just love it. And I think the flosses, a lot of them are pinks and purples and bright greens. I think they're really going to pop on this fabric, so I'm really excited about that. And I just looked at the design. On 18 count, the design is 7 by 7 inches, so it should fit on this piece perfectly. So that might have to be a new start very soon, so we shall see. But that is all of the purchases that I have made this month, so not very much. I've really been trying to cut down on stitchy purchases because of the upcoming wedding, and weddings are very, very expensive, as you guys know. And I've got a lot of whips to work on, so I really don't need to be buying new things all the time. But there are always amazing new charts that are coming out, so we will see how long that lasts. The last thing I'd like to talk to you about today is my newest Patreon design called Dodo in Paradise, and it was just released a day ago, and this is what it looks like. I was inspired to design a dodo bird by a lovely Patreon member who said she would love to see more dodo designs. And so this is what I came up with. And as I was looking at dodo birds for inspiration, I just realized how strange and kind of ugly these birds were. They're very awkward and kind of derpy looking, but I think that's kind of fun. It's definitely something that's very unique. So it's not the prettiest design, but it was something that I had a lot of fun experimenting with. I really wanted to design something that had a waterfall in it, and so I thought this place would be a perfect spot for a dodo to enjoy living in. It was really fun making the very graphic waterfall and those beautiful blues. The only thing that I was having issues with, I was basically struggling to figure out what color that I wanted to make the dodo. So I looked at a lot of reference pictures. Of course, there's no photos because they are extinct, so only drawings. And they were portrayed with like a wide range of colors. So I just went with some dull blues, and I think that turned out pretty okay. I think my favorite part is the trees in the background, because I really wanted to emphasize the depth in the picture. So I made the background trees a little bit lighter so that it seems farther back in space. So it's a fun little design at 104 by 112 stitches with 19 DMC colors, which is definitely quite a lot of colors. I usually try to not have more than 15 colors, just because it gets expensive for stitchers that are kitting it up when there's just so many DMC colors. But I needed this extra gradient of colors in order to add the depth in the stitch. So I apologize, it's quite a bit more, but I hope you enjoy this design. And again, this is available on my Patreon page. And in 1 year, it will be out on Etsy for purchase. And that is all that I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please like the video, and if you wouldn't mind giving me a comment, that really makes my day, and I really love reading through the comments. So please tell me what you'd like to see more of and what you're working on. I'd love to hear more about you. And I appreciate it if you subscribed, but again, don't feel pressured to. I hope you have a lovely month ahead, and I hope to see you towards the end of August, hopefully with more progress on whips and a couple new designs. So thank you so much for watching, and take care. Bye!